Movies can be rewatchable and they can be utterly unwatchable. So let's talk about some of the best films to rewatch of all time. Hello, everyone. I have two things to say before I get started. One, what I'm doing, which I am doing top five most rewatchable movies. Now, this doesn't mean my favorites because some of my favorite movies are on this list just in different places. So, just so you know, it may be a bit contradictory to my other rankings because I do like movies I would say are more rewatchable, but it does not mean that I like them more. That's just what I'm going to say. And second thing is that I hit 1,000. Sorry. I hit 100 subscribers.
You did it! Congratulations!
Thank you so much for that achievement. I was honored to that, and I actually got 102, which I thought was a really good achievement for me. My next goal is 115. Let's see if we can make that part happen. Enough babbling on. Let's get started with our ranking. At number 5, Jurassic Park. Oh, I love this movie. This is one of the most rewatchable movies, like I said, ever. It is one of the most magical movies ever. This is one of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies. Of course, you have some of the other great ones like Jaws, another masterpiece of a film, which I absolutely love. You have Raiders of the Lost Ark. But we're talking about Jurassic Park, which, in my opinion, is one of the movies that I would fight to say is almost flawless. There's some stuff I would nitpick a bit, like that hasn't aged the best, or some stuff. But other than that, I love the film. Man, I really wish I could have seen this in theaters. Why is it all the good movies I'm never around when they come in theaters? Why? But I'm ranting. But this is an iconic movie when Hammond says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." Oh, that is iconic. I do know they've re-released the movie in 3D, so I may be able to see it, but I doubt it. But that would be fun. And the thing that just elevates this is because you look at this film, then you look at some of the other sequels like The Lost World and Fallen Kingdom, which are not so great. So it just makes the film even better. Because the sequels are all nowhere near as good, even though I did have a phase where I thought Jurassic World was the best. And nope, I was wrong big time. It is Jurassic Park easily, and just combine all the magic and the Spielberg charm, you have one of the greatest movies of all time and one of the most rewatchable movies of all time. Number 4, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. My favorite movie of all time. Although not the most rewatchable of my favorite movies of all time, it is absolutely incredible. This is my second favorite of my most... if it comes to rewatchability, I think this is my second favorite in my top 5. No, I think it's my third favorite, yeah. Number 3, because there's 2 other movies on this list that are in my top 5. Now, one of them you've never heard of except when I've recommended. You guys need to watch that one. But anyway, we're talking about T2, my favorite movie. I absolutely adore this film. The effects hold up to this day. There's films that have been made pretty new, and there are films that are newer than this, way newer, and they still have effects that kind of suck. Meanwhile, you look at this film. It was made in 1991. Actually, if you count when it was actually made and how they had to do some production stuff and how that was when the film was released. It was made in 1990, I think. But it was released in 1991. But I'm overthinking it. I shouldn't be overthinking so much, but I do that. I'm a movie reviewer, so I kind of have to. But anyway, the effects still hold up, and just the way that the T-1000 can bend its exoskeleton, it looks so good. The effects hold up so well. It is so incredible. And it is rewatchable. Sarah Connor, one of my favorite movie characters. The T-800, my second favorite movie character. And on some days, my favorite movie character. Where he gets a character arc and he learns why a person is crying.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do.
And that is just so gut-wrenching, and it gives us such an emotional payoff when he dies. And that is just so respectful to the character, which they then kind of ruined when they put out Terminator 3, which kind of just disrespected the ending of T2 just so they can make a film that was nowhere near as good. At number 3, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or just Star Wars. That's what I'm going to call it, Star Wars. That because this is my favorite of the Star Wars movies. Hot take! Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know you guys are all like Empire Strikes Back fans. I've always been partial to A New Hope. I think even as a kid I liked it more. And I was more of a prequel fan back then. But now I have a brain, so I can understand that all the originals are better. So, anyway, this is so rewatchable. I had it in my script when I was writing this. It was at number 1. But I decided to etch out 2 other movies. One, because I thought it would be respectful because of how underwatched that movie is. And because one of those movies is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is so amazing. This is my second favorite George Lucas film, behind Raiders of the Lost Ark. And there's some effects that they haven't aged the best, but you can forgive that because of how good the story is, how good the execution is, how good the characters are, Han Solo being my favorite of them. And I know there are some sloppy moments like when they're lightsaber fighting. It looks so weird. It looks like they're fighting in a closet because of just the way that their hands are like so squished together. When they're fighting, it does look pretty sloppy, but you can see that in a lot of the Star Wars films. Like The Force Awakens, it just looks like they're swinging bats at each other. It looks so sloppy, but this film is so rewatchable. I could rewatch this film for every day for the rest of my life, and I couldn't get tired of it. When it's May 4th, this is the film that I make it a priority to watch, and Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi, I attempt to watch too because I love all 3 of those movies. But Star Wars is just easily my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite rewatchable movies, and it is just so great. Our runner-up, We Bought a Zoo. This is my favorite Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson movie. I love this movie. This movie was so underwatched. I believe it underperformed at the box office pretty hard. And I don't know why. This film was fantastic. Just so you know, I'm putting out a review for this movie soon. And I'm going to tell you guys, you need to go watch it. I think it's on Disney+. If not, buy it. It deserves all the money in the world. It is a top 5 movie for me. And it's going to make you cry probably because of how amazing it is, but you trust me, it is so good. When I put out my review for We Bought a Zoo, I want at least 3 comments saying, hey, I watched We Bought a Zoo because you told me to, and I loved it. And believe me, this movie is so good. Your homework after you finish this is to watch We Bought a Zoo. That is your homework. Do whatever you can to watch it. If you have Hulu, watch it. If you have Disney Plus, try and see if you can find it. And also, if you want to go the distance by buying it or renting it or giving it some money, that is amazing. But this movie is fantastic. You need to watch it. But this is such a rewatchable movie, and all the main leads are still likable, and one of the kids who is not as likable at first, they gave him this amazing character arc through the entire movie, which just makes me feel so warm inside when I watch it. I'm going to rewatch it today, I believe. So, this movie is incredible and fantastic. There is no words I can say to compliment it as much. This is my go-to for recommendations. When people say, hey, can you recommend a movie for me that you think is underwatched? We Bought a Zoo. Warrior as well, but We Bought a Zoo, number 1. We Bought a Zoo. You guys need to watch it. That is your homework, and I need someone to at least say, I watched We Bought a Zoo because you told me to, and I loved it. But this is just such an amazing movie with some of the most likable characters I have ever seen put to film. But coming in first place for me, Die Hard. My second favorite movie of all time. And this is just such a movie that I can rewatch over and over in the same day and never get tired of it. It is fantastic, and when I was going through which one my list, and I thought this one was gonna be a number 3 at first, and I decided to move it to number 1 because of how so rewatchable it is. This is such an amazing movie where they set up certain little things like a line that comes in the first 5 minutes matters later in the movie, which is key to the plot, meaning you cannot have this as a background movie. You must pay attention at all times. Luckily, I was paying attention, so I knew immediately that way. This is a perfect movie. There's no flaws in this movie at all. The villain is fantastic. Just the Christmas score is fantastic, and the fact that it takes place on Christmas automatically makes it a really good movie, except for a few bad movies that take place on Christmas, like Home Alone 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! But anyway, Die Hard. And it did have some sequels that people weren't the biggest fan of, but I found all the sequels enjoyable except for the fifth. But if you take it, it's an amazing action movie, an amazing movie. It's rewatchable. For that reason, it comes in at number 1. Thank you all so much for watching this. Please like and subscribe if you're not already. And also, remember what I just told you. You guys must watch We Bought a Zoo. I need someone to. That would be amazing. Let me know what you think about it. I would love to have a conversation about that. And just and rewatch some of these movies that I just mentioned. If I had to recommend one that you need to watch more than any of the others, it's We Bought a Zoo. Even more than Die Hard, because Die Hard is a movie that you must see at least once in your life, but We Bought a Zoo is so underwatched, it needs to be given a chance. And believe me, the score to that one is fantastic. You will love it. And this is just such an amazing movie. Also, stay tuned. I will be reviewing Blue Beetle today, so stay tuned for that. And thank you all so much for watching this. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one.